Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Your Morning Drive. I am your host with the most, Logan Lewis, coming to you from the Fireworks Studio in Marietta, Georgia. I am so thankful and glad that you decided to spend some time with me today. Before we dive in, I have a couple of quick requests. Number one, make sure to hit that follow or subscribe button on whatever listening platform you're on, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or both. I'd love it on both. If you enjoy a visual experience and you're watching on YouTube, again, subscribe so that each episode comes directly to you and you won't miss a beat. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Hit the thumbs up if you're on YouTube, if you like the video, if you like the content, a comment, all of those things, those metrics. It just helps me get some feedback on the show. So with that being said, on Apple Podcasts, do me a favor while you're listening. I'm going to walk you through it. Scroll down. Hit the 5-star button if you think it's 5 stars. If you don't think it's 5 stars, send me a message and tell me why so I can improve. We love continuous improvement. But go ahead and hit that 5-star button and write a short review. It could take 10 seconds. Just write your thoughts. Give me an opinion. Tell me about a guest you like. Just give me some kind of review. It helps the show boost up in the charts and get recognized by more people. For even more content, updates, and everything in between, follow Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And on those platforms, like I said, you'll find episode announcements, clips, and plenty to keep you entertained and inspired throughout the week. Again, thank you so much for joining me today. My guest today is a proud mom, Jesus follower, entrepreneur, and passionate supporter of people. Over the past 4 years, she has embraced the adventure of entrepreneurship, launching and growing 2 small businesses that allow her to combine creativity and connection. As the co-owner of the Highlight Reel ATL, she's discovered a deep passion for storytelling and helping others share their unique journeys. Her faith, family, and the relationships she's built along the way are at the heart of everything she does. Please welcome my new friend, Lee.
Hey.
Hey.
It's so funny what you said in your intro about go like, go follow. I don't think maybe people that aren't in this journey or, they just listen and consume things, how much that helps people and how easy that is to just really be a huge, huge supporter and asset to small business owners for $0. So it really makes more of a difference than people realize. So I have a little trick, and it's like if you're on the phone with somebody that, you don't, maybe it's a friend that you talk to all the time and they're rambling and, you're there, you're listening, and you're being supportive, pull a double duty and just go ahead and pull out Facebook or something and just start liking all the people that you like. Just give them a like, give them love, spread the love.
I love that. And, every once in a while, a post on Facebook will circulate and it'll say, hey, you can support a small business by sharing on Facebook or tagging somebody in a post that makes sense for them. People don't realize, like you said, just the littlest things like that can boost metrics that could ultimately return in sales or engagement or whatever they're going for. And it's just the little things like that that can make such a huge difference.
Yeah, it really does. It's the way to share the love really easily. We always appreciate it anytime people take the time to do it for us. And I'll definitely make sure I go to Apple and get you a like on there.
Love that. Thank you so much for that. So how are you? Again, I feel like we've been working at this one for a while. I've had you on my list for a while. I've had my eye on you, Lee.
Oh, it's so funny because it feels so weird for me to be on a podcast, to even be invited.
I am so excited that we are entering year 2 of the support from the Fireworks community team. I am so excited to have them hosting us today. They're a creative co-working space focused on supporting the local community and uplifting creative entrepreneurs. Get a free day pass when you book with them. You have to use code DRIVE, or if you go to see them in person to visit their beautiful space and meet their awesome staff, tell them Logan from Your Morning Drive sent you, and you'll get a free day pass to try the space yourself. Fireworks Co-working in Marietta, Georgia.
On a podcast, I feel like the business world is so new to me, and I've just always sat in the seat and listened to others and just gotten so much value out of listening to other people. So it's crazy to be here. I've watched your journey, starting your podcast, watching you change spaces. You're doing it, and it's been awesome. And you're a big supporter for the people. I see that you're not just recording podcasts, you're actually pushing the content out and you're getting it in front of people. And it's really hard I don't do podcasting. Obviously, that's not my creative realm, but I know from people that do it from just a little bit, it's not easy. It's not just a little easy thing that you sit down and you record something. There's a lot that goes into it. So kudos to you for continuing your journey.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate it. It's so funny to hear people, in my opinion, like you, that say things like, oh, I just, I don't know that much, or, I'm so new to the business world. I feel like you have an amazing reputation. I feel like everybody knows who you are. So for you, and I work with another small business on social media side, and they're just like, yeah, we're just a little old mom and pop shop. I'm like, are you kidding me? You guys are iconic. Everybody knows who you are. Nobody in the area has not been to your shop. It's just so, and again, it's kind of like what we were talking about before we hit go, of surrounding yourself with truly humble and caring and just genuine people. Because there's a lot of people out here at the business world, I'm sure that you've seen and I've seen myself, that really are just all about them. And that stinks.
You do see that for sure. I think in our community, it is honestly very few and far between.
Well, that's true.
Sure. I see it a lot, in big stuff or things you see on social media with businesses and things like that. I think we have a really, really humble community. And one thing that I realized through doing what I do, which is video storytelling with my partner, we didn't know that this was going to be a thing when we started. But when we're talking to business owners, like you said, people don't see what they've accomplished and they don't really see all of what they've built, even if they know it's something cool or special or it's doing good work or helping people, whatever it is. They don't truly see the story. That's one of the things we love. We're not doing a podcast, but we have to sit down and have pretty extensive conversations with folks to really guide the vision for their video or their film or whatever we're doing. And a lot of times when we start showing them all their wins, kind of repeating back what we're hearing, they're like, oh yeah, when you put it all together, when you say it all like that, when you paint the video, I'm like, wow, we did do that. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a weird analogy, but do you ever have a friend that you haven't seen in a long time and maybe they've lost a ton of weight and you're like, oh my God, you have lost 40 pounds, 30 pounds. And they're like, I don't really see it. But it's because that person looks in the mirror every day. Mm-hmm. They don't see the gradual, they just see the everyday. So they might look in the mirror and think, oh, I'm not getting much progress. But someone who hasn't seen them for 6 months might come up to them and be like, oh my God, you look amazing. But it's because you haven't seen that person for 6 months and you haven't seen the journey that they've gone through every day. It's easy to get in the thick of it and just forget about everything.
Oh, absolutely. Or feel accomplished for a moment. Mm-hmm. A lot of entrepreneurs feel the win for a brief period and then it's like, well, that's done. What's next? And
back to the thick of it.
Remember all these things. And then when somebody brings it up, it's like, oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did that, but I haven't accomplished XYZ. And so it's really, it's good to have friendships, have conversations, have business relationships where you can be reminded of things that you've done. You can remind others, more importantly, of what they've done and just be a big support.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to ask you, so let's rewind. So before we hit go again, we kind of talked a little bit about how you haven't always been entrepreneurial. You did have a corporate job. You worked for somebody else at some point before yourself. You can give me as much info as you want to on that. But so take me back to college. What did you want to do? Did you know what you wanted to do? Did you go to college? What was that early career life like for Lee?
That's really funny that you asked that. Because it wasn't what I planned it. I think everybody probably says that or feels that, right? And in fact, I get to do something to kind of help with that journey. I'll share that in a second. So when I was in high school and school period, I was very academic. I've always loved learning. I thought I wanted to be a teacher. That's how much I loved learning until I shadowed my 3rd grade teacher and realized, oh, heck no. So much respect for teachers. I truly do think they have one of the hardest jobs in the world, but it was not for me. That wouldn't do any justice to the children. So I thought, okay, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I'm college bound. I'm getting that full ride scholarship. I'm going to college.
So you're that academic,
academic, right?
Okay.
Until I dropped out of high school. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Your morning drive is also present to us by Good Days Canned Cocktails. Good Days are a classic cocktail brand created in a convenient, ready-to-drink canned format for any occasion, whether it's a pool day, a boat day, a beach day, a graduation, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, anything in between. Good Days are there for you. Good Days are ahead when they are in your cooler, your fridge, your anything in between. Good Days has your back. If you want to be one of the first to try their drink, you can do so by visiting drinkgooddays.com/pages/find-us to find a store near you selling their drink. Of course, you must be 21 years of age to consume and purchase.
Yeah. And so my parents got divorced when I was in high school. Have a lot of, childhood stuff that had happened. Kind of was left in the world to try to find my way and didn't choose the right way for a little while. So I did end up graduating and getting my diploma. I got it when I was 20 though, and I had to do it through like a digital program. And I was actually about to have my first daughter. I got married. So, and I moved across the country to Texas. And yeah, I was like, well, let me get the heck out of here. I've always wanted adventure, and that's what ended up happening. And then I became a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, which was never in the cards ever. So
the look on my face is always so surprised, because I always tell the guest, because, and I should just start saying this up front so that they understand why. But the listeners are probably tired of me saying this because I say it damn near every episode. But I do very little research into you, just so that while we're sitting here, I have genuine reactions like the one that I just had. And the fact that, I mean, as that sentence went on, it was just like, oh my God, more stuff I had no idea of. So keep going.
It was a little bit of a pat.
Wow. Okay, well, can I pause you real quick? So how do you, I don't want to dive too deep into your business, of course, if it's too personal, but how do you go from being this academic driven, I might be a teacher, to dropping out of high school? If it's too serious, we don't have to dive into it.
I actually don't have a problem talking about it now at this point in my life. It's just been in the last year and through a lot of work. I really intentionally committed to healing and going through the hard stuff, because I knew that all of this journey is for a reason. I know it has to be. And that reason, I got through it. And my job is to share and continue that. Right. And so truthfully, there was a lot of abuse that happened in my life, in my youth. And
I'm sorry.
It really shaped me. It helps me a lot in my life today, because it helps me see people in a different way. It helps me show up. It helps me have really great empathy for people. So the truth and the honest answer is, I think that happened because I felt very lost, and I felt like, truthfully, that I didn't deserve good things anymore. I completely self-sabotaged. I mean, the decisions were mine. I could have found a way to keep my life on track through that adversity. I felt so hurt and so full of pain. I didn't even want to, because I thought, I don't even deserve this. What's the point? And luckily, that was a brief blip of time. Luckily, that horrible time lasted I would say about 2 years of my life. So when I turned 19, I had gotten back on the right track. I had landed myself a really good job. I met my then ex-husband. We, fell in love. We moved away together, got pregnant, started our family.
To Texas.
Stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And, we were married for almost 10 years. And then when that, unfortunately, and we're very amicable, like we have a very tight-knit family with our girls, and so no hard feelings. We just were so young. We just were not right for each other. And obviously I was not going to be married anymore, and it was time to get in the workforce, which is what I wanted. A lot of people ask me, they're like, how is it being a stay-at-home mom? And I say I have a lot of feelings, because I loved it. I love my girls. I wanted to be there with them every single day. Part of the pain was just wanting to have it all as a woman. You want to be there with with your kids. You want to raise them, but you also want to go build a career and you want to have something for yourself. And I tried to do a couple things while they were younger, and it just, my heart wasn't in it because I was just too focused on them. And so I knew my time would come. And so it started in corporate. Thought I was going to be a corporate girl. That was my dream. And yeah, it didn't last long.
I want to ask this next question, but I don't want you to hate me because I know that you're not supposed to ask a woman this question, but you were married for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
What year did you, I know you said you got it at 20, but what year did you get that diploma?
So that was 2007.
Huh. Okay. What year would you have graduated high school if?
2006.
Wow. Okay. So how old are your girls?
14 and 16.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Understood.
Yep.
Okay. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You look great. Wow. Keep doing it. Good for you. The burn boot camp or whatever the hell you're doing is yeah. Well, okay. Sounds good. If you weren't accepting applications, you are now, and now they're closed.
My best friend is going to listen to this. I'm kidding.
Wow. Sorry, best friend.
Yeah.
Move over. Just kidding. You're the OG, so I can't compete, but I'll be a close second. How about that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what a crazy first chunk of your life right there. I mean, drop out of high school. Yeah, you got the diploma at 20. You get pregnant. You move to Texas. You get married. You get divorced, but it's civil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is great because we love a good co-parenting situation.
Absolutely.
We love that. That's awesome. Good for the girls too. So I forgot to ask, when you were in high school, did you grow up in Georgia? Are you from Georgia?
No, I was born and raised in Indiana.
Okay. Another Midwesterner. I love it.
Westerner.
Heck yeah. I'm from Illinois originally as well. Yeah. We love a good Midwesterner.
Well, you get it. The beautiful cornfields of America.
Oh man. My siblings went to college in Illinois, and when we went to their graduations, my wife was like, she woke up at one point, we're in the car and it's just cornfields. And then she goes back to sleep and she wakes up and it's just more cornfields.
Yeah.
And she's like, Jesus, did you pull over? And I'm like, no, we are still in cornfields. It's hundreds of miles of just straight cornfields. Every once in a while, you'll see a silo and maybe a house by itself.
Maybe some soybeans.
Maybe a small city, or a town even. I don't even know if a city is the right word, but this is the Midwest.
Yeah.
Welcome to Midwest. And
actually, it's so beautiful. It really, I had to move to find the opportunities I want, but the Midwest holds a very special place in my heart. People that are in the Midwest, if you haven't met people from up there, you just don't know what the whole vibe is like.
Yeah.
People are just so wonderful.
When I move here and I go to a restaurant, I'm like, oh, I think I want to pop.
Yeah.
I want to pop.
What did you just say? I still call it pop.
Yeah.
Till I die.
Oh, yeah. Pop till I die. Or sometimes I say soda, and they're like, soda? And I'm like, yeah, stop it.
I want to hit myself when I say soda, okay?
Yeah, I know. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still to this day, when we go out to eat as a family, my mom is like, I want to pop, cold pop. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. And a Pepsi.
Yeah, there you go. Not a Coke, a Pepsi. That's right. Exactly right. Okay, so Midwestern, moved to Texas, and then what was Georgia? Why Georgia?
Well, when I moved here, I was still married. So my ex-husband did a lot of structural detailing. He was in the petrochem industry. So that's why we moved to Texas. He was doing a lot of design in Houston area for all the oil refineries and things like that.
Okay.
And then when the great oil spill of 2013 happened in the Gulf, it was devastated. Our family. Obviously, I was a stay-at-home mom. He lost his job.
Sure.
I mean, thousands of people did. And it was just very hard times. We had a trip to Disney World book. It was not good timing.
Nope.
And then he said, he was going and looking for jobs. He was flying to different places. We pretty much realized Houston was kind of a dead zone for a while. And we knew we didn't want to stay there forever anyway. So we were like, okay, where should we go? And we were going to live in Florida at the beach. We realized that's only fun for vacation. And then he was like, I got this job interview in Georgia. And I was like, Georgia? I was like, still live in Georgia? I was like, what is there? Besides, I know there's a city. What is Georgia? In my mind, and I just didn't realize what was even here. I did not want to come here. And I will be truthful about that. He accepted the job. He asked me to do it. I did it. I remember driving here in Atlanta rush hour from Florida. It was pouring rain, dark and cloudy. I was like, welcome to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you. It took me a whole, probably not even 3 weeks to be like, this is the best place ever. I'm never leaving. I'm so happy we're here. Made all these friends. I mean, it's so funny how you can dread or think something is going to be so bad for your life, but it can actually be the biggest blessing. I mean, I've never felt like, even as much as I love Houston and I love Texas, this is home. And something about Georgia, something about Cherokee County, this area, all of it is special and different for me. I just love it.
Was there, besides making some really good friends and just falling in love with what made you jump from, not wanting to be in Georgia and then, 3 weeks to a month in, you're just like, this is my spot. What made it so? Was it the people? Was it just like the kind of, like you said, the small business culture we have around, the downtown areas, downtown Woodstock, Canton, Kennesaw? I mean, all of these areas, like what did it for you? What sealed the deal?
What's funny is I moved here in 2013, so downtown Woodstock wasn't quite yet popping yet.
True.
The outlet mall wasn't open yet. It was built, but Exit 9 had just got built. So really, and I wasn't a business owner till 2020.
True.
So it honestly was the people. Something about, and I feel like I'm a people person. I feel like I try to connect everywhere I go, and I could never find like that community feeling where people walking down the street and local business owners and what's going on in your city and people want to be involved. Like, to me, that was something you only saw on TV. That was like the Andy Griffith Show. That was like Mayberry Street, like just some little fictional fairy tale that it just doesn't exist. I know that other communities across the U.S. have these special places. I don't think we're the only one, but it just happened to work for me. I think, I just got connected with really great people, and it just makes people are really the basis for having a great life, I think.
For sure. I mean, I saw, not to disrespect my family, but I saw some post on Facebook the other night that said, like, the family that you choose and not the family that you're assigned sometimes they change your life. And it's like, man, I do love my family. I have a great relationship with my parents and my siblings, but same thing. I moved around a lot growing up as well. My dad's he is in commercial construction. So we moved quite often, every 2 years or so.
Wow.
So I changed schools, changed states, all over the place.
Wow.
And maybe I didn't realize this because I wasn't an adult back, moving around, but the last few states we lived in, like Virginia, Arizona, Oklahoma, none of them had the feel that it has here. Because I agree, the same thing, like everybody know everybody, everyone wants to be involved with the stuff, everyone wants to give back, everybody, so much. Like, I've never felt more like I lived in a place that everyone truly like cared about each other.
Yeah.
Sure, I made the comment earlier about few and far between you find, stuff that doesn't align with that.
I mean, the rotten apples anywhere.
Right, exactly. They exist everywhere.
Yeah.
But there's something so weird about, I mean, Cherokee County especially, I feel like everyone is just so, it's like a web of just people.
People want you to succeed, and you're like, what is this?
It's weird.
You just want the best for people, and like, yeah. Not to make it like a fair. I don't want people to listen to this and think I just live in some fairy.
You're like, wow, Cherokee County, Georgia.
Choose to see what you want to see. If I go around looking at all the people that are doing the bad things or saying the bad things or not living the right, like, that is just negative energy focus. So it exists a little bit, but just focus on the good and live in your little bubble. It's great.
So at what point, 4 years you've been in business, so that puts us around 2020. So what happens to where you're like, you know what, I'm done with, sorry, let me rewind again just to make sure I got my timeline right.
2021, I started like networking and everything for the business, but formed my first business in March of 2021. So I'm almost at my 4-year mark.
And what was that first business? Is it The highlight reel?
No, so it's the longest name ever. Talk about first time entrepreneur.
Right.
It's called Go Getter Personal Assistant Services. And I still have it running. I don't have time I just can't let it go,
Yeah.
so I keep things, where they can fit in. But that business was built to service small business owners in my community, because what I saw was that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but didn't know what on earth kind of talent I could do. I just wanted to be able to help people. And I saw, hey, these business owners are really busy and they do not have time to fill all their needs, but they don't necessarily have the bandwidth or financial ability to hire somebody in full time. Like sometimes they just need a little bit of help. So I would be hired in for intermittent, whether it's marketing needs, office design, organization, in-person type things, like networking at trade shows or organizing company dinners, or just
You're filling in the gaps so that the business owner can do the thing they love more and not have to worry about the other 90,000 pieces that make up being a business owner.
Yeah, exactly. And it gave me a lot of purpose because it was relieving a lot of stress out of people's lives. That's why I love it. I just realized as the business grew and it was time to hire that my work was so personal, and I just didn't like hiring out. It just didn't feel like it was going to fit my passion or my kind of vision anymore.
So, okay, then where did the highlight reel come from? How was this idea born? How did video become a thing for you? And you just said, that's it. I mean, what happened?
Oh, random, right?
You're right.
I mean, it felt random to me, and I felt really weird even embarking on. You talk about imposter syndrome or feeling like a fraud or asking yourself, what the heck am I doing? Because my boyfriend / business partner, he even calls my cell phone my internet box, because that's how I'm like, what? How's this thing? But it started because in that first business that I had, I was actually hired by a company that he had worked for a very long time. And they had hired me to do some design work and remodel their front office. And it was during COVID times still. So everything took forever. The contractors, the shipping for the furniture, everything was so delayed. I was in this office so long, and I ended up building a great relationship with the company owner and other people there. And he was like, hey, why don't you just hang out? You can work out of my office. You can run your business out of my office, like whatever. And I'm like, great.
Yeah.
So Matt, who's my business partner with the Highlight Reel ATL now, he had been we became really good friends, and he had been shooting video, photo. He would always come back excited, showing me projects like, hey, I went to this concert. Check out this video I shot. Hey, I went to my family reunion at the lake. Like, I made this family documentary film. Like, will you watch it? Tell me what you think. And it was just beautiful work. And as a mom, I always hired out really expensive photography and different things like that for my children, because I always wanted to feel a certain way when I looked at the photos. I wanted the art to represent a certain vision that I had.
Sure.
And when I saw that coming from Matt, exactly what I like, I was like, wow, you should sell this. And he was like, no, I don't want to. No.
Really?
Yeah. And that went on for a little while, to the point where I was like, why am I pressuring him to sell something when I'm running my own business? He has a job. I'm going to leave him alone. I said, fine. Like, if you don't want to sell it, I don't even know why I'm hounding you. Like, I'm going to drop it. That's wrong of me. And then, we were best friends. So we were talking a lot. I knew he was very unfulfilled. He's very good at IT. He's done that for like 20 years. But just because you're good at something, it doesn't mean that's what you should do for the rest of your life. And it doesn't, especially if you're not fulfilled. And he had just opened up to me about just, being really just not where he wants to be.
Sure. Just kind of empty.
Feel when he's doing something. And so I don't know, time passed a couple months. I went to the city of Woodstock. The mayor, Michael Caldwell, does an amazing the city of Woodstock's just so great. They're very informative. They really help you understand what is going on in the city, what improvements are
so great,
how business is growing. If you're missing out on those meetings, and I don't have any affiliation with them, but I'm telling you, just do yourself a service and go to them if you're in the area, because they're wonderful. And I heard some projected budgets for the year, and the city of Woodstock had presented that they had a $250,000 marketing budget per year and that they don't have their own talent, that they want to hire outside talent. They want to use local creatives. I didn't realize this, but I found out that the city of Woodstock has creatives from all over the world that send them books trying to have
Really?
them book that. Yes. It's a very desired city. I mean,
I'm not surprised.
yeah.
I love Woodstock. It's so
crazy how well they've done everything, but how much they have a creative market coming after them. And I think it's kind of smart to be able to use different. Now, this was a couple years ago, so I can't speak if this is current in 2025. You know, this was the beginning of 2021, and the city has changed and expanded so much. So that may not be a current thing, but that is what sparked me. And I was texting, it was 8 a.m. I'm in this meeting, I'm hearing this information, and I was texting Matt, my business partner. I said, look, I got to tell you something really exciting. Like, I just felt this surge in my body. Have you ever gone?
Oh yeah. It's like a strike of just like, it's almost like some invisible spirit is like shaking you, and they're just like, pay attention to what's going on. Right. Yeah. Right.
I felt that. And I was like, please answer my call when I leave this meeting. And he was like, okay. He gets nervous when I say things like, that's what he's going to hear.
Right.
And so I call him and I was like, look, I am not telling you you have to start a business with me, but I am telling you, you have to start a business with me, because that's literally what I meant it as a joke.
For sure. Yeah.
I wanted to make it lighthearted, so hopefully he'd laugh and want to start a business with me. But I just laid out the plan. I said, look, you have amazing talent, and I know the community, and I love people, and I can bring the other side together. Let's do this. And that's where it really started out, is like, we both saw it as a way to really honestly financially help and impact our family, help change our trajectory. That's why it started. And I'll stop talking, but it grew into a much bigger purpose from there.
No, you don't have to stop talking. We're here for you, my friend. But yeah, that's awesome, dude. I love y'all's, just from a branding perspective, and with you having, you got hired on by various companies to do some design and some marketing and stuff. I love the branding of your company. It's so simple, and simple is so good, because a lot of companies like to overcomplicate the branding, and they think it's got to be this hardcore thing. Like my logo is a coffee cup that looks like a microphone. It's plain, it's simple, but people look at it and they're like, oh, it looks like a microphone. I'm like, yep. Yeah. And same thing with y'all's stuff. I'm a website nerd too. So I went to y'all's website. I remember when I first connected with you, I think probably on LinkedIn. And I was like, oh my God, it's so nice.
Oh, thank you.
It's so nice. To hear it's getting redone, good for you guys, but it's so nice already. You guys have a great site. So that stuck out immediately from me. To me, was just like, oh, they know how to do branding effectively, because
sweet. I was feeling some kind of way about our website the past few months. I've been on my business partner. I'm like, my website. So to hear you say that, I'm like, oh, okay.
No, I love it. I mean, if you're upgrading it, keep upgrading it. Don't halt them, or whoever's doing it. But I love it. It's great. But I'm a website nerd and a branding nerd. So if I see like a cool logo, I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. When you like it, you get, I geek out when I go to even like a farmer's market and I find a cool product or somebody with a cool logo. I'm like, where'd you get this idea? Like, oh my gosh, this shirt is so funny. And I'll stand there and they're like, dude, can you move on? I want to.
Yeah. They're like, we have a line, ma'am.
They're branding.
Right. They're like,
it literally happened.
Sir, are you going to buy that soap, or are you going to move on? Because I have a line of people. I'm like,
$30 honey.
Yeah.
And get out.
I'm like, okay, here's 60. What can I get with that? So starting the highlight reel, what was the goal initially? It's like, we're going to do video for people, like specifically video, or was it ever like, we're going to do marketing, but with a focus on video? Or is it just like, we're going to do video full blown? What was the goal initially?
Our mentors laughed at us when we started. We're so lucky to have be blessed with a lot of great people that have helped us throughout the years. But our first set of mentors, I'll never forget our first meeting. They were like, okay, who are you going to serve? What kind of video are you going to do? And me, brand new entrepreneur, I looked at them and I was like, we're going to serve everybody. And we're just going to try everything.
Yeah.
Because, and I sounded like an idiot. My intention was, hey, we want to do everything because we don't know.
Right.
And truthfully, we did kind of ignore the advice to niche down immediately because we needed to see, what do we like? What are we driven towards? What are we, when you're in a creative field, you can't just pick something.
It's so
and
hard.
do it. It doesn't work that way. Like it's not like you're like, oh, I want to learn how to operate this machine and I'm just going to go do that. Like creativity is it's an
It's a blessing, but a curse sometimes. Cause like my parents will be like, why don't you just like take that one thing, hone in on that? I'm like, yeah, but like, what about that thing and that thing and that thing that I want to do also? And they're just like, why do you have to do it all? I'm like, cause I just have that brain.
Yeah. And it's hard when I feel like you're probably like a visionary, like you love creating ideas, like brainstorming.
So much.
Yeah.
A good brainstorming session, nothing better. Love it.
Yeah. We can cut this out. I have a saying and I'm like, why would you like commit a crime when you can do business? Because it's literally the biggest high.
If you want me to cut it out, I'll cut it out.
I mean, you don't have to. Well, my real saying is, why would you do drugs when you can just start a business? Because getting that, like, and I've never done that, but
drugs.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, it is an incredible high. I mean, even something as little as like an episode, like, I don't want to say, well, I'm going to say it. Fuck it. Not every episode of this podcast do I record it and leave and I'm just like, but when it does happen, like every once in a while I'll record with like a high caliber guest, like somebody who just brought the energy, even if they're not like a super high caliber person in the community. But like, I mean, I recorded with Ike Reichard from Must Ministries, the president of Must Ministries. And I just left that and I was just like, I want to run through the wall. Like just that feeling of like, or when someone's just like, thank you so much. You helped me so much. It's just like, it's those moments that's the best high you'll ever have. No drug can give you that.
No
drug.
Oh, natural.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Just the thought of like you getting to do the thing that you love, but it benefited someone else and it's helping their business take off or, you know, attract new customers or whatever the case may be. It's like, you almost look at it like a proud parent. You're just like, yes.
Yeah. It's like that love. You just have this deep love. And that is a really good way to associate. Obviously, I love my kids more than anything in the world. But it hits that part of the heart of like, wow, I care so deeply about this.
Even as we're talking about it, my heart just started like beating faster as I was like getting excited about it. Because it's just a great feeling.
It is. It's one of those feelings where it makes you realize when you were a kid, I'm sure you heard this, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I used to think people were straight up liars when they said, I was like, as a kid, I only watched people clock in, clock out, clock in, clock out. I did not honestly see a lot of passion or excitement or like that drive to create and all of those things. So yeah, it's amazing.
Funny enough, when I don't have, I mentioned that my dad is in commercial construction, but I don't have like, I don't want to say I don't have creative parents because that's not true, but like they didn't pursue creative fields. But my dad always said the same thing. He's like, oh, I never work. You know, it's the best. I love it so much. I'm like, you're telling me? And especially when we were young, because when we were young, my dad was never around because he was just putting in these 20-hour days, just trying to rise the ranks and trying to be the best of the best. And now he is and has risen the ranks. So it all paid off. But I mean, as a kid, I always thought like, really? You're not working a day in your life, but you're never here.
Like, Dad, how can you not be miserable?
How can you not be miserable? You're flying across the country all the time, traveling to this, going to that, doing this, doing that. You're on the phone for 4 hours a day. Like, you think that's fun? And he's always just like, yeah. And still to this day, he's just like, yeah, I have a job and it pays me really well, but it's not work. It's fun.
Your dad will never retire.
No, probably not. I swear to God, that'll change when grandkids come into the picture. They're not here yet, but when they do, I think that'll change.
Okay.
I think that'll change.
Is that something you're hoping to? All right.
Working on it.
All right.
Nothing official yet, but we're working on it.
Well, that is exciting. I mean, it really
getting some practice in.
Oh, no, I bet you guys are enjoying that.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. I mean, it's exciting. Literally, it's the best. So I wish you guys lots of luck.
Well, thank you.
journey.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about the company that makes your morning drive happen every week. Are you looking to elevate your business and your brand? Hammerhead Creations is here to help. They offer top-tier marketing services, including social media management, website design, and Google page optimization, ensuring your business reaches the right audience. Whether it's a side hustle or your full-time grind, their expert team, me, is ready to help you grow. Plus, if you're into podcasting like me, Hammerhead Creations offers full support for both in-house shows and external podcast creation. From concept to production, we will help you bring your ideas to life. Visit www.hammerheadcreations.com and discover how we can take your business or your podcast or both to the next level. Hammerhead Creations, swim with the big sharks.
Anyway, so tell me about some of the work you guys have done. Because I mean, I looked up, obviously, I do, like I said earlier, I do a very little pre-work, but I looked on y'all's website and I looked at some of the work you've done. And I mean, unlike the you that was telling those people when you guys started, oh, we're here to serve everybody. I mean, does that still to an extent exist? Do you guys have a niche? Or, I mean, who is the Highlight Reel's ideal client, customer, whatever you call them?
Yeah. We've gone through such an awesome journey, and we've truly, and I don't just say this, like every project has taught us something, every area, every person, every company, and we've enjoyed it all. What we realized through all that is that our focus and our heart is on storytelling, just period. That can involve a lot of different areas, which made me happy that I don't have to truly just pick an area, but storytelling means just really bringing people into a further depth of who you are, how you're serving, what your mission is, what you're trying to do. We work with a lot of, doctors, attorneys, medical, nonprofits, small business owners, corporate. It just depends on the message they're trying to do. But storytelling, I mean, honestly, it's become very popular now. So it's a very common term, but that's because people want to feel like they know people and want to be connected. So we specialize in a lot of that. And our work is mainly used for folks that want an investment piece that's going to live on for a couple of years, potentially. It's going to live on their website. It's going to be in a marketing campaign, maybe a small commercial, something that really they can be proud of, that they can show people, possibly open a door and say, hey, here's who we are. Here's what we do. Here's how we serve people. A lot of people, what we've realized is they have difficulty opening doors or having conversations because what they do is complex, or the idea is complex to explain. And a storytelling video really helps build that trust, help you be remembered, and help build that trust.
Wow. I love how, what's really elegant about what you guys do and the way that you're pitching it is that in all of what you just said, what I was expecting you to say was, well, our ideal customer, they want to shoot a video for their business. They want to shoot a commercial for their business. They want to make a highlight reel for their business. But you didn't say any of that. You said, and I relate to it so much, and now we're even closer because my whole brand has become everyone has a story. And the fact that you guys you're not video makers, you're not video shooters, you're not videographers, you're storytellers. Mm-hmm. That shit is what it's all about right there. And that's probably, if I'm guessing, what sets you guys apart from others that are like, oh yeah, I'll help you make a video commercial for your business. No problem. We'll make a cool sales video for your Instagram, whatever. You guys are like, no, we want to tell the people who you are, what you're about, who you serve, all of the above. And that's what makes you guys stand out. Am I right?
Well, we're trying to answer that question. That's so funny. Our mentors ask us all the time. They're like, you have to be able to answer. What's your differentiator? What do you do? And we're like, we're not good at that businessy answer stuff. But what we've just tried to realize is like, what are we doing? What is our purpose? We came up with a core value for our business, and that's use video for good. And so whether that means we're using it to share a message for something, to help people understand something, One thing that is really funny to me, I've been in the medical community my whole life because my little brother Joel is severely disabled. He has cerebral palsy. And so we've almost lost him so many times. We've been in and out of the hospital. You know, I've grown up. My mom's a nurse. I've lived in the medical life, but never thought that video, I don't know why that didn't immediately go to my brain, but it kind of came to us that we were asked to do some work and with some non-vets that do medical transplantation, you know, organ transplantation, things like that. And I don't know, just telling these stories and being able, what we have seen is that people are so desperate to get to share things, to get people involved, to get support, and that these things can really streamline that timeline for them. It can help get people more engaged. It helps change people's lives. I mean, I'm not saying that our videos change people's lives, but they are just a little bit of support that we've realized that we get to play a small piece into a much bigger puzzle. And it's not always something so dramatic, like needing to save someone's life, but sometimes it's, you know, a really special business that somebody has built their whole life. They're working on building a legacy. They want something to be remembered. They, you know, these things are not lost on us. So we really take the time. It is, I'm never going to go to somebody and be like, yeah, we do this, we do that. No, like, it's about you, first of all, and it's about the story that you need to tell. And then I'll tell you how we can help you.
I love that. I saw a quote on social media a while ago. I forget exactly what it is, so I might be butchering it, but it just said something like, when you're focusing on you, nothing happens. But as soon as you start focusing your business on the people that you serve, is when things start clicking, the dots, I's start getting dotted, T's getting crossed. So again, like as a pitch, again, like it's no like, oh, we do this, we do that, we do the other. It's who are you? What are you trying to say? What story are you trying to tell?
Mm-hmm.
It's super cool. It's super cool.
You know, I'm glad it doesn't feel like a pitch because that's important to me. Like, I grew up not even participating in the fundraisers at school, like trying to get the yo-yo and stuff, because as bad as I wanted all those prizes, I've always had this innate grounding thing of I hate sales. I hate being sold to. I don't like that. It feels yuck.
I'm so gladly that you understand how I feel.
Yeah.
I've worked so many jobs that they're just like, oh, you got to sell this and you got to sell that. And I'm like, but my problem is I put myself in the shoes of the customer, of the client. And when I walk into Best Buy to buy the microphone or the TV or the Xbox, I know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
So if some dude comes up to me, he's like, oh, what did you think? I'm going to be like, respectfully, fuck off.
Ask you a question, sir.
If I need your help, sir, I will come find you, but I came here to buy a thing. And every job has been like, well, you can't put yourself in the shoes of the customer. You have to think not like some people like being sold to. Not me.
It's funny.
I hate being sold to.
You know who those people are. Can they raise their hands for it? Like, can you leave a comment for the podcast? Like,
I'll expose them off, Mike.
Let me talk to you guys if you like being sold to.
Yeah, yeah, right, for real. I just clicked.
Nobody does. Like, nobody.
I don't get that.
I don't think that anybody likes being sold to.
No, I think that person was just trying to get the numbers.
Sell.
They just wanted me to sell more. And I just think it's not genuine. And they're always like, oh, but that's all about it is you got to come off like you're not selling. And I'm like, people can see straight through the lines. Right.
The other person.
Right. And same thing like with the podcast. When people come to me and they're like, oh, I want to advertise. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Because I never ask really, because I want people, again, I want to establish the relationship with somebody first. I want to be buddies with you for 6 months, a year, however long it takes for you to then come to me and say, you know what? I actually might want to call you about my radiator being broken, or my, now that you mentioned it, my AC does need fixing, or, maybe I do need a video for my business. It's, to me, just selling up front. It just feels so fake.
Yeah.
And it just seems like I'm just money hungry.
Well, it's just not serving. It's just not serving the other person. And so it's self-serving. I think that's what was really pivotal for me. I had to do some sales training because I was just not growing my business in the way that I needed to, because I am so anti-selling. Isn't that funny? And it really clicked for me when I realized, like, I'm not trying to sell anybody, and I'm not trying to even convince anybody. I'm just having conversations. And if this is the right fit, if it seems like it's a good value and we seem like we're going to work well together to get you to where you want to go, then that's what we need to do. I just got to find the right people.
I relate so much. I do social media management for a couple of businesses. And the last one that I started working with is Kelly Nagel from Nagel's Bagels in downtown Cartersville. And in my meeting with her, I was like pitching myself, and I was like, I named a number, and I was like, yeah, all right, so here's the number, but it can kind of bend and break to whatever you will. She was like, Logan, stop. She was like, I want you to know that you are the worst salesman ever. She was like, you are so bad at pitching yourself right now. And I was like, really? She was like, you need to stick to your guns. You need to. And I'm like, yeah, I just never want people to I never want to be the line item in someone's budget. And they look at it and they go, oh, I don't want to pay that.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, oh, but here's my number. But if your number is lower, and that's what she said. She's like, the right people will see the value. And she's like, and it sounds like based on what you're selling is that you don't see the value. And so people might be people might sense that and think, oh, I'm not going to use him because he doesn't seem confident enough. Yeah, but I'm just trying to be genuine and
to be a helper.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
everybody.
Correct. I want to help everybody. And my wife will say it all day and night. She's like, well, if you keep doing that, you'll never be full time. You'll never quit your job. You'll never. And it's like, yeah.
Always says Goodwill doesn't buy groceries. So
that's true.
And you have children to feed. And they, in fact, took it a step further. And this is how you can know I'm telling the truth, that I'm so bad with you like that. My mentors looked at me. This was probably 2 years ago at this point. And they were like, every time you do that in a meeting, I want you to go home and I want you to sit your children down. And I want you to tell them, I'm sorry, mom didn't value you enough to sell herself for full value. So I can't buy you X now. I can't take you on vacation now. I can't do this because I don't believe in myself. And I was like,
that's crazy. What a crazy way to put it. But he's got,
but it's so,
they got a point.
And it was true. And, wow. And when you are doing a good, valuable service, it's okay to just find the right people that believe that. And remember that you're not there to do a favor. You're there to provide value, and you're there to provide a service. And the right person doesn't even bat an eye because they're so grateful and thankful. Oh my gosh, thank you for this amazing service.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. So when you guys started Highlight Reel, it was always you two together?
Yeah.
Right from the get-go. It wasn't you and then he came on later or vice versa. You guys always did it together.
We started it at our kitchen table. We created our first logo. We created on Canva. It looked like crap. We were all excited, yeah, we're going to bootstrap. Okay, we have got to get something legit done. That was a couple months in. We were like, we cannot do this anymore. In fact, the first time we ever filmed, you're trying to build your portfolio. I'm sure you know about that life. And so we went to downtown Woodstock for their Mardi Gras pub crawl. This was in February 2022. And we're walking around with a camera and we felt so stupid. We were like, what are we doing? We feel like influencers. Oh, the only way we could survive that shoot was just making fun of ourselves and ripping on ourselves because we felt fraudulent. We felt so weird. Who do we think we are out walking around downtown Woodstock with a camera?
And what were you doing?
We weren't even filming ourselves. We were filming people. We were filming the city. We were filming the event. What we did, and it's still out on social media, we filmed, and my kids got to be a part of it. We filmed an event recap of the pub crawl. And it was really just to get eyes and have people know who we were. But it's just so funny. We still think back to that shoot, that very first shoot that was obviously unpaid and just for portfolio. And it's just cool. It's good to remember those moments when you're starting and you're like, oh, I got to keep going.
Yeah.
We'll get through it. And now we walk around with a camera and we're like, yeah,
we're supposed to be here. Right.
We don't feel weird at all. It feels like this is us. This is who we are.
Looking back, and you, again, kind of what we talked about earlier about how you got to go through those little moments in order to get to that place where you're at now. I mean, dude, if you scroll all the way back and look at some of my first episodes, I recorded my first episode. I listen to it sometimes to humble myself when I get too excited about things.
Good.
I listened to it and I recorded it on like a Saturday or a Sunday morning, and I just had woken up and I was like yawning on the mic. I didn't edit it out. I just like was like, oh yeah, I saw this movie and so many people, right? And that was a fake yawn. And I even can feel a real yawn coming. So I'm just warning you, it's coming. I was go back and listen to that and I'm like, what am I doing? So many people were like, yeah, it's good, man. My mom was just like, yeah, keep going, but you might want to record them midday, not right when you wake up.
That's hilarious.
So
Honest.
and I left them up just because I was like, hey, if you want to see where it started in my bedroom at my parents' house, and I was yawning on the mic. How silly.
Oh, we feel the same way. I mean, we look back at our very first projects or like, even stuff we did last year. Like, it's not like it's bad. It's, I'm not trying to like toot a horn or anything, but I feel like it's good work. But now we look at it and we're like, oh, what? Why did we do that? We should have cut that. I can't believe we left that. Like, I feel like every year you just elevate, as a person, as an entrepreneur, even people that aren't entrepreneurs, we're all elevating our work when you're trying. And it's just fun to look back on the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to ask you, in this world of video that we're in right now, like Instagram is like all reels. I mean, even Facebook is starting to become all reels. LinkedIn just introduced like a video thing that they're doing. YouTube is as big as ever. Has there ever been a better time to be in the line of work that you're in right now? Or do you think it's kind of even when you guys first started? I mean, has the workload been the same? Have more businesses been like, we gotta give in, we gotta do the video because everyone else is doing video? Like, since video has taken over social media so much, have you guys seen an up in the demand?
I definitely think, when we first started, what's funny is I didn't even realize that we were at a pretty cool cusp to enter. It wasn't planned. It was definitely one of those like by, the grace
of God. Yeah.
We got landed in a really sweet spot at a good time. And I will say that I felt like there was a demand back then, but yeah, now it's almost like a checkbox requirement that people feel like they just have to have. And that's because consumers want it. It's not even that business owners are like, I want video. They want it because they know that everybody expects them to have it. That's a connector, and especially here in 2025, when people are vetting companies or trying to get to know them, they're immediately going to their social media. They're going to their website. And if stuff looks outdated, if they can't get a clear idea of who you are and what you represent, they're really going to something that's going to click in their brain, that's going to connect to their eye, that's going to make them feel warm and fuzzy and draw them to you. So people are really realizing that. And it's nice, obviously, to be in that. We also have a lot of downfalls with our industry. There's a lot of tools coming out that help people create on their own, which we're all about. We know that the type of work that we do, it's really hard to do that with just technology alone. You really need people that can help you break things down a little bit differently and creatively. And so, I don't know, the technology is also good in a way because it does help us kind of help service people that maybe don't have a huge budget. Like, our heart really is in the small business community. We're a small business. Technology is so great. It enables people, no matter if you have no budget, everybody can be creating amazing video for themselves.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because, I interviewed a photographer. Her episode actually came out today, and we had a conversation about people who tell her, oh, well, professional photographer, I could just do the same thing with my iPhone. I don't need you. So I was curious if you guys get similar, maybe not, I don't want to say like how rude of a comment that is. Well, I don't need you, but do you guys find like if you do sit down with someone, have you ever seen someone be like, oh, well, I could just have my daughter film it on our iPhone or something? Like, how do you guys feel about that? What kind of equipment do you guys use to do the work you do? Or does it vary based on your project?
Yeah, so we do hear that. I wouldn't say we hear that a lot, probably just more in casual conversations when we're out and about with people. If somebody's having a conversation with us, they're definitely interested in investing. Like, they know that they have a certain vision they're trying to accomplish and that they aren't going to do it. Maybe they can't, they don't want to, they don't even want to try. But I honestly, it doesn't I try to just let that like roll off. It doesn't bother me because you don't know what you don't know, right? And some people, the truth is, they don't need high quality video for what they're doing. They truly don't. It would be a waste of money for them to invest all of that. Like, I don't know what their business looks like. I don't know what their, sometimes I don't have all of the details. And we also have a really big passion that we try to offer people support. Like, hey, if you're not interested in doing it, people we meet in the community, maybe you're not at a place to have professional video. We want people to succeed. Call us. We'll tell you what you could order on Amazon. Well, we don't try to just
Sure.
like we can't get inundated
Right.
with that. But if somebody comes to us and they do, we want to be known for people that will help you get to a place to create your own things, even if it's not through business. That's just not how it always has to be. And for us, we always use very professional equipment. My partner is, he is the creative director. He is the filmer, color, audio, all of the things. But I know we use Sony. I know we use FX3. I know we shoot. I could go in the specs, but that's not my thing, y'all. I'm the people.
You're the people side of the business.
Quality stuff because it has to look good.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. And, I've found that a lot of those kinds of comments like, oh, I can do it myself on my iPhone. A lot of that comes from the only times I've heard comments like that, like, oh, I could get my son to do my social media for me. Like that comes after they either don't like your pitch, they don't like your price.
Right. There's always
something because
just don't understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just,
and like you said,
you
don't know what you don't know. And that's not their fault. They just don't know. And
sometimes people do try that avenue and it's just like anything. Like, I think we're all guilty of that. How can I get mad at somebody for saying that to me when I've watched HGTV my whole life and I think I can go remodel a house in about 2 days by myself?
Right. Right.
I don't really think that, but how many, I have watched so many things that I thought, oh, that's probably not that hard. Sure.
Right.
Could go get a hammer. Like human nature. We
for sure
can't be mad at them. Like we all want to get our hands dirty and do some things, and sometimes it doesn't work out the way we think.
But what I love about what you said a second ago about how like, hey, we can't help you, but here's who can, here's what you can do to get started on your own. When that person's business takes off or when they have the budget, they're going to think of you guys because it's like, oh, well, the highlight reel, they didn't just send us away because we couldn't afford them or because we couldn't work together. There was no hostility there. They gave us tips to get started at home on our own. So now we're going to turn around and contact them for the services because they were a helping hand rather than just being, oh, well, we can't work together. Good luck. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think good karma comes around for sure.
Goes a long way.
I think that it's really more just about we truly have been helped and supported by so many people in our community since the very beginning. And it's always been a thing of, for me, just we want to be able to do that for others too, because that's what we've been given. And that really is what life is about. It's about that exchange of energy and doing things for people and being a part of something. And that really gives us a lot of joy. And that's how it should be.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. So Lee, there comes a point in every conversation that I have with people that I ask them a handful of questions that have nothing to do with what they do. They're very first date kind of questions, so that no matter, if I'm sitting across from, I don't know, Chris Hemsworth, at the end of my interview with Chris Hemsworth, I'm going to ask him this same set of questions to get to know him on a personal level. Because everyone knows Lee, the business, the video, the icon, but people might not know the little ins and outs of your regular everyday life. So are you ready for these every regular questions?
Let's do it.
What is your favorite movie?
Ooh, okay. Man, I hate when I get asked this question because it makes me look so dumb. I mean, honestly, it makes me look so dumb. But this has been my favorite movie since I was like 8 years old.
Hit me.
Well, it's funny because I have two, okay? And they're kind of opposite spectrums. But I have to go with my OG Clueless first.
That's a good one.
Opposite spectrum. I love the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh God, what a spectrum those two. Shawshank is fantastic.
Yeah.
Golly, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah. I mean, Clueless is my childhood dream, and Shawshank is just the deep, amazing story. And of course, we have Morgan Freeman. I
Of
mean,
course.
can you not love Morgan Freeman's voice?
I know, right? I saw him in a couple Super Bowl commercials, and he's like bald now, but he still looks great. He looks the same as he's looked for the last like 20 years.
Sad when you see people getting older, or is that just me?
There was another Super Bowl commercial with Bill Murray, and I was like, oh, he looks old.
Yeah.
Like real old. I'm like,
Last year, my parents saying that, and now I'm saying it. I'm like,
right.
ugh.
Like all these like famous musicians and actors and actresses are like slowly starting to pass away. And I'm like, I'm not going to be ready when it's people like Bill Murray or Morgan Freeman or some of these legends that, I mean, the 90s and early 2000s grew up with. Well, early 2000s, but I mean, I'm just not ready for that.
Yeah, just no.
Like I know how much it hurt my parents when, I don't know, like when Prince died or when, I don't know, like Betty White died. It was like, God, that's a big one. Like, I can't even imagine.
National treasures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
truly national treasures. What was your first job ever?
I actually worked in a library. I loved my library. I was obsessed with the library growing up.
That's well, you were the academic.
Yeah, I loved reading, and it was kind of like my escape. So, but they didn't like me though. I actually got to admit, I got fired from that job. I loved playing Good Charlotte really loud. And
Who's Good? I'm just kidding.
yeah, I mean, this was 2004, y'all. Like Good Charlotte, they're making a comeback.
They are making a comeback, actually.
Come back, and I'm gonna go rock out.
I love Good Charlotte.
Old library days.
Is Good Charlotte? I don't want to be in love. I don't want to be in love.
Yeah.
I love that song. Yeah, that's Good Charlotte. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love Good Charlotte.
Don't play that part.
They've got a great soundtrack in most of the American Pie movies. They're great.
Well, they're just like that kind of. I'm older than you, so definitely didn't grow up in the same area, but my like high school era. I know it's not that far apart, but it really does make a huge difference. So,
Oh, for sure.
like we were all about.
What was this? This isn't one of my questions, but since we're talking about, what was like when you were in high school, pick any year, what was the song that it comes on and everyone's just like, oh shit. What's the song?
Oh man, there was this song by Eve Six, and it was about like summer and high school. I'm trying to remember. There was that comes to mind. And then what else was really Nickelback? How you remind me?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
I don't care what people say. Love Nickelback.
Dude.
Put that on the podcast.
Hell yeah, dude. We saw Nickelback when they were in town last year. Best night of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, besides my wedding.
Did you watch the documentary? Like, why does everybody hate Nickelback? Like,
absolutely. I watched it. It's not.
Fair.
It's people hate on Nickelback because it's fun.
They're good.
Because they're good.
They were too good. They were too played on the radio.
If you look at Nickelback's catalog, they have easily 20 or 30 bangers.
I forgot how many bangers they had until I was watching the documentary, and it said one of the reasons people hate Nickelback is because they have too many hits out on the radio. And I'm like, yeah, hating the guys because they have too many songs on the radio that are good.
Yeah, we're hating them because they're successful.
It did.
I mean, Rockstar was played a lot. Like I definitely have childhood memories of my parents listening to a lot of Rockstar. Like at every get together, every neighborhood party, every cookout, I mean, Nickelback was just on all the time. I mean, it's so good though. And seeing them live, no disappointments, no complaints. They were fantastic. Great show. Great show.
I'm going to go see them.
You should.
Live.
They were so good.
Also a big fan of Creed. So
hey, my dad wanted me to go with him to Creed so bad, and I regret not going so bad.
We didn't end up getting tickets, and I'm so mad. We wanted to go so bad.
Creed, everyone, after talking about the Super Bowl the other day, everyone's like, let's just get Creed back in the Super Bowl to play the halftime show. That'd be fantastic.
I'm here for it.
My parents listened to nothing but Sheryl Crow and Creed growing up, and Nickelback. Every once in a while, I'll hear a song from like the early 2000s, and it's by one of those three artists. I'm like, oh my God, I'm having flashbacks to mom and dad. Next actual question was, well, if you found out that tomorrow you would not wake up, what would your last meal tonight be?
This went dark.
Very dark, very fast.
Man, gosh, that is so hard. Because one, I don't think I would actually be able to eat if I knew I was going to die like There's no way. I want you to get me like a bottle of something.
Okay. True.
But I've always said this just because it's my favorite meal. Now, I don't know if I'd use it, but I love that. This is just my favorite. Okay. It's a really good steak cooked perfectly. Okay. Like medium rare, pink, but not bloody, not too rare.
Heard.
Okay. Not over seasoned. Keep the steak flavor. And then I need some Parmesan roasted zucchini and some roasted sweet potatoes with poblano pepper. That is like my favorite. Like
You've mapped it out.
Salivating. Like,
Yeah, you are. Thank you for doing this with me at dinner.
yeah. That's my favorite. It's healthy. It doesn't make you feel like crap. I mean, I wouldn't care about that on my last night, but
It's your last night.
yeah, it's so good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We maybe got a little ahead of ourselves with this one, but you get to organize a music festival for yourself. Who are your 3 headliners?
My gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, well, I'm a huge Limp Bizkit fan, so like I got to see them last year finally, and they were amazing. What's funny is I have like the most mishmash random music love ever, but I think if I was going to do this show, I'd want it to be all the same genre so I could rock out. So I would do Limp Bizkit, I would do The Dangerous Summer, and I would do oh crap. I've been Our Lady Peace. I was like, why am I drawing a blank on my favorite band? So I've been listening to all those forever for my whole life. I'm like a nostalgic person. So no,
for sure.
want to go to this concert but me.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
You're just rocking out in the front row.
I'd be rocking out alone. What would you go? What would your band be?
That's tough. That's real bad. That's tough. I'm going to do Post Malone.
Okay.
I'll do Aerosmith.
I love some Aerosmith.
Yeah. I've always, I don't know where that came from, but I've always loved Aerosmith. Maybe Dad. Shout out to Dad. And then the third one,
I know, it's so hard.
I'm trying to think of like the different eras. Like Aerosmith was like, I listened to like all classic rock in middle school. So that's middle school. Post Malone is now. I'm thinking about high school. God, I listened to a lot of Wiz Khalifa in high school.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe something maybe just Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa, Post Malone, and the other one, whatever it was. Aerosmith.
I'd go to that concert.
That'd be a fun time.
Sure. Yeah. Don't even need to keep all the same genre because you know, he can do country, he can do rap, like.
I would just do just a full set of Posty. I saw him also last year. Sounds like I'm a big concert guy. I just coincidentally went to a few concerts last year, and Post Malone was amazing. I mean, just truly amazing.
Music is life.
It is. It really is. On a day that you are not taking care of others, on a day that you're not working, which I'm sure is few and far between, what does self-care look like for you? How do you take care of yourself?
For me, I love getting rid of my phone. I hate being on my phone. I love turning on airplane mode, do not disturb, put it away, goodbye. I love being outdoors. I love camping. I love adventure. I like checking new places out. Self-care for me, I've realized the older I get, I used to think it was like spoiling myself and like, oh, I need to go get a massage. And those are all wonderful things too. Like, not discounting them. I've just realized I've got to get myself to a place where I can like breathe and feel the world slow down. And just, so for me, that's outdoors. And it could be sitting in a hammock, taking a walk, going on my paddleboard. I love it.
I love that answer. What is something that very little people know about you? Fun fact about Lee.
That's so funny. I don't know. I've always just felt like I'm just a very normal, like, just, you know, Midwest person, I guess. Well, something that people don't know about me, that I do think is kind of fun to share sometimes is that I did actually used to weigh almost 260 pounds, and I had a weight loss journey about 7 years ago. And I really thought that I was going to be like a life coach, and I really wanted to help women that were in the same place that I was, because the reason that I gained all that weight is I went through severe postpartum depression. And I'd also gained a lot of weight in my pregnancies. With my first daughter, I gained 70 pounds.
Wow.
Which is not healthy. And that was due to a lot of factors. You know, I moved away from my whole family when I was young and pregnant. And I just, you know, I thought, oh, I'm pregnant, I can just eat all these Oreos. And it turns out you can't.
Oreos.
I love me some Oreos.
What, just regular Oreos?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
double, like that's too much stuff. Just
Yeah.
the regular stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I found it through just, weightlifting and macro counting and some support from females, like finding it online. That's
Sure.
why people doing things in an online space, you'll never know who you're impacting. Like these women have no idea who I am, but they're a part of my journey. So a lot of people are very shocked to hear that. They don't suspect that.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you. Congratulations. That's huge feat. Huge feat. Also kind of dark, but what is your biggest fear?
I think for me, my family is so important to me. And because of the history I have with my childhood and my family, it's so important for me to have a super close relationship with my girls, to build a super strong family, kind of community together, that when they have kids, we all are staying together. We're all close. And, I understand that a lot of that responsibility is on the parent, and we have things that we have to do to make sure our children feel loved and safe and connected. And I see a lot of families that get estranged. And so I honestly, this is dark, but that and my children not having their faith, those are the top things I would say as a mom.
Sure.
I worry about.
That's a good answer.
I don't worry necessarily. It's just more of a like, God, I really want this. Like,
Of course.
really hope this works out.
Certainly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would the title of your memoir be?
Man, that's funny. I don't know. I had a lot of like inappropriate things that popped in my brain. Maybe like how she got her shit together. I do want to write something one day that like,
I could see it.
because a part of this too, when I mentioned dropping out of high school, I feel really passionately about being able to reach kids that maybe are in that pivotal point of launching into adulthood. My partner and I were offered the opportunity to do a career day in Cherokee County here at some schools. And
Awesome.
for me, I really want to, I feel like God is calling me to share things and share a message that like your path can be here, there, all over the place. It cannot make any sense. You can feel like down here, you can go through it all, but you have a purpose. And none of this was for no reason. All of these things have lessons we can take from them and build on. And I wish I would have had somebody pivotal in my life when I was going through that time. I think that if I would have, maybe I would have had a better shot at sticking to my goals. And so I want to help encourage kids that maybe are in a little bit of a weird spot.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot, especially the piece of it of with saying that your path does not have to be like the path that society tells you it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
You can go through different trials and tribulations and still end up where you want to be.
Right.
So I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
And maybe even better off than you thought. There's been so many things that have happened to me that I thought, God, how are you going to use this? And he does. He does. So I believe that for everybody.
It's an age-old saying, and it's cheesy and corny, but God works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm. It is true.
And lastly, Lee, what does success look like for you?
I think I'm still figuring that out, honestly. I have a vision of what I want. If at the end of my life, if I'm ending my life and I'm looking back at my life and I'm looking and I want to see success, for me, that means building a legacy for my family, building something that sustains past me, building something that can help support and encourage my family after I'm gone, and to have just an extremely strong family dynamic.
Sure.
That is full of real love and trust and just really having each other's back. I want to look out at a really strong, amazing family and be able to financially support a lot of fun vacations for all of them.
Of course.
And some really bougie places.
Oh, yeah.
That is success to me.
We'll put that into the world.
Yeah.
Put that out. Lee, now I want to give you the chance to talk to the people as if we haven't been this whole time, and tell them about the highlight reel. Tell them where to find you, how to find you, give me your spiel, if you will, if you have one, but tell people what you do and how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah. Well, of course, if anybody's listening to this today, they know that our passion is storytelling. So if anybody has a mission that they're trying to get out, if they have an event that they're looking to do, marketing for their business, really anything that is going to need some creative collaboration, like let's get together, let's hear an idea. I'm not a pitcher, so you can call me and you can say, hey, let's talk about this. What does this look like? What do I need to do? I'm curious about this. We're just passionate about even collaborating and chatting. So you can find us at the www.thehighlightreelatl.com. You can email me at videos@thehighlightreelatl.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. People can very easily, my phone number is all over the internet, 78. Yeah, I would just say that if this resonated with people, if they have something that they're looking to share and kind of up level what they've been doing and put themselves out there in the light that they deserve to be shown, then I would love to talk to them.
Awesome. I'll make sure that those links and pieces are in the description of the episode so that people can just simply scroll down and tap on the link and get right to you so that they don't struggle. I know they won't struggle to find you, but it cuts the middleman out.
Technology that they might.
Well, yeah. So again, those links are in the description, everybody. So just scroll down and check them out to learn more about Lee and the Highlight Reel ATL. Lee, I told you this before, and I told you I would tell you again. So thank you for carving time out of your evening tonight to sit with me and chat with me and open up to me and give me advice and tell me and the people about your business, your life, your struggles, your passions. And I'm lucky to know you. I truly do feel honored that you're here. I know you would say otherwise, but I do think that you're very well, highly regarded in the community. People say good things about you. You guys have a great reputation. You and your partner, your business has a great look around town. So I'm honored that you're here with me. So thank you.
I mean, I'm honored to be here. It was great to get to share a little bit of my journey. I'm always asking everybody questions about them. I don't really talk about myself a lot, and I don't honestly like to, but it was nice to get to share story time and connect with you. And you're doing phenomenal things here. Thank you so much for having me. Honestly.
Of course. Thank you. So guys, again, Lee's links are in the description. My links are in the description. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Follow on the social platforms for more information about me and her. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate you tremendously. I'll catch you next time.